Hi everyone, good evening to all of you. Welcome to Season of Agents, a virtual event dedicated to exploring the dynamic world of intelligent agents, automation, and the future of AI powered productivity. Today, we are delighted to have Mr. Anurag Mishra, who is the uh, esteemed speaker of this session and who will be taking us on this exciting journey of AI agents. So, without any further ado, let's dive deep into this session.
Thank you so much. Thank you to ADC and thank you to Microsoft. Uh, let's just start right away with the presentation. I'll just share my screen and I'll enable the audio as well. All right, here we go. Today we are going to, hands down learn something about artificial intelligence. The most important aspect is utilizing artificial intelligence in our day-to-day activities, in our day-to-day workflow, pipeline, funneling, all of that. And that is why this session is known as unlocking productivity using artificial intelligence. Let me briefly explain about myself. My name is Anurag Mishra, and I work as a system design technical specialist at Reddington. And let me give you a brief about my work as well. Why not? Because you see, I have to deal with meetings every working day. Okay, so it could be around 4 to 5 meetings every day, and this takes a lot of time. And the most important aspect is to look at the intricate details that I have to talk about the the solutions that I provide to my clients. And the most important thing is that I don't want to lose my clients to my competition, right? Going through 4 to 5 meetings a day, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and it's possible as a human being that I miss out on some of the important details that might be very crucial for the client from his side that I provide solution to. So what do I do? How do I make sure that I stand out among the competition? I stand out as a responsible specialist when it comes to the market. That is where we are going to have a look at AI in action and how we can really, unlock our productivity. How can we really embrace artificial intelligence into our day-to-day life while we are working as professionals? Also, I would like to mention that this may not just be about professionals. This is also important when it comes to, students or maybe people who have already retired but want to implement artificial intelligence in their day-to-day life to make it easier. So let's see what we're going to discuss today. Okay. So we're going to, you know, understand how you can unlock your AI mindset. We're going to meet the AI work buddies and how artificial intelligence can really help you. And I promise this won't be a boring session. We're going to have a look at multiple of these videos where people would come and give their brief idea about AI and how AI has been implemented in their life, how it makes the work easy. We're going to also have some real life work problems that are associated in multiple companies and how AI integration has really solved these kind of. So you are going to basically discover your norm, your Kickstarter for artificial intelligence. And also we are going to, practice some basic prompts with mini exercises. I will be from my end showing you how I can implement artificial intelligence, AI agents to make my work easier. And finally we are going to learn how to work smarter. So we are talking about unlocking our AI mindset. First of all, let's understand why artificial intelligence is required in our day-to-day life. And I know for sure that some people, I have heard that they complain that, oh no, AI is going to take away our jobs. AI is going to surely replace the human race someday. Well, let me just tell you, this is some kind of a rendezvous. This is not a real thing. Artificial intelligence cannot replace a human mind. However, it can help you to achieve your goals faster compared to someone who is not implementing it in their day-to-day life. For example, I was talking about myself. So I said that I go through several meetings a day. And I also mentioned that I need to ensure that every intricate detail that I have been having a talk with about my client and the requirements are mentioned, are clearly stated, are highlighted, so as to when I provide a solution to my client, I provide a product to my client, this meets their daily needs, this meets their agenda, this meets their requirement. So there, that's where AI comes in. How I use artificial intelligence day to day for meetings. When I have a meeting on when I have a meeting on Microsoft Teams, let's say, so I would implement AI, and the AI would synthesize the entire meeting, create a transcript, and then analyze what are some of the most important stuff. And then when it does, it would highlight and provide me with the same. Now, I have 4 meetings a day, let's say. So I would just go around, have a look at separate meetings, what the AI has for me, what it does. And it could be possible that it misses out something, because let's see, we are humans, we make mistakes. It's quite possible that some algorithms also may make mistakes. So what do? We analyze it as well. So maybe in that case, we can use AI to implement into our day-to-day life and improve our workflow. So let me show you a video. It's something fun, and let's see if you could catch if this is an AI or not. Let me just bring it up.
What do you think about the idea that we're just a bunch of prompts? If I'm generated from a prompt, how come I don't have 6 fingers? Some people say we're just AI created via some simple prompts. Thoughts? If I'm just a prompt, mine clearly said add anxiety and a caffeine addiction. Are we all just computer generated NPCs created by our prompt engineering overlords? Yeah. If that's the case, they definitely skimped on the tokens for me. Yeah. Are we real or AI? I mean, I really can't tell the difference, can you? Yeah.
So it's quite clear. It's quite clear from this that these are artificially generated imageries. The best part is that it's hard to tell these days. So is it going to replace all the VFX or cinematographers or VFX artists? No, it's not. What it's going to do is help them understand uh, how they can shoot, how they can create. So you don't really have to go out with the camera. You can just give instructions to the artificial intelligence, and it would give you separate of the camera angles that you require for a better shot that you may not have had in practice. So it's just fun. It's fun, and also it is productive because it's reducing your time, it's reducing your effort. And that is what AI is basically. It just reduces your effort, it reduces your time, and it gives you the closest that you could to a real object in real world. All right, let's go back. So first of all, I would love for you to share some adjectives that you think that comes to your mind when you hear about artificial intelligence. I would love if you share it in this chat, and also you can share where you're coming from, where you're connecting to this meeting. But also, let me tell you that irrespective of what you may feel, irrespective of uh, what comes to your mind, we need to understand things that AI can help in your day to day life, and it can actually reduce time. So, let me ask you this quick question: what would you do if you could find 2 hours extra every week? 2 extra hours every week, what would you do? Let me know in the comments, and let me tell you my perspective. If I, for example, I end up with 2 extra hours, I would rather not work. I would go out to a movie, I would go out to hang out with my friends, I would go out to hang out with my family, have some nice food, and enjoy my time, right? How is that possible? How do I get some extra hours? By implementing AI to do something that would take me several hours, but it wouldn't take the AI to do that much of time. So basically, our goal today is very simple. What are we going to do? we are going to understand and discover our AI Kickstarter. This is the small way that we can turn our feelings about artificial intelligence into an opportunity and integrate it into our role and find out the impact. So, this is where we come to meeting the AI work buddy. How can AI help you? Maybe you work in a different, portfolio compared to me. Maybe you work at a different office. Maybe you own your own business. So the essence of what you need to understand about artificial intelligence is what's coming up ahead. So in this, we are simply going to understand not a lot of technical aspect, but we are going to understand it as simple as possible so that anyone can understand and be not afraid of artificial intelligence at all. So the question is, what is an artificial intelligence? Well, it's when the machine or the software can mimic a human intelligence to perform certain task. What kind of task? It depends. Here in this slide you can see there are some of the objectives that could be possible through artificial intelligence. For example, we are talking about perceiving. When we talk about perceiving, we are trying to understand the text that has been written. We're understanding the voices that are being spoken, some images that are being shown, some patterns that could be studied. For example, you all use Face ID in your iPhones. You use Google Lens to search an image and find out. You could backtrack where that image came from. You also use artificial intelligence to predict. How? We use certain models. We give it data. We give it data for, let's say, past 10 years. We give it data of how the pollution has affected the air. We give it data how much of a how what is the amount of dust, what is the amount of chemicals, what is the amount of fumes that have been released into the air. And then it could use that data to predict if there will be a heat wave, if there will be a rainfall, if there will be a snowfall. That same could be used to recommending you some shows on your favorite OTT platform. Maybe use Netflix, maybe used to shop on Amazon. So in that case, it can study the various products that you have purchased. Maybe in winter, you like to go to shop for some winter wear. So it knows that winter is coming up. So it's time. It's time to share with the person using the device some of the new and more modern kind of a looking winter wear that has come up. Same goes with the summer. Actors there. When you love some kind of a movie, let's say you love anime, maybe you love romantic movies, maybe you love action movies. In that case, Netflix would recommend you certain shows. So in that case, we are using predictive AI. That's it. Also, we have seen some recent arts being posted on various social media. Like, I know for sure that certain Instagram IDs have been using generative AI, which is something that you can use, and a form of artificial intelligence that you can use to create a certain image, text, code, videos, maybe voices, anything. For example, chat gpt. Well, we use chat gpt. I use personal chat GPT to write some emails that I don't want to waste time on thinking and writing, because I have certain tasks to do. I have less time. I have more work. I have to implement artificial intelligence. And that is where I use chat GPT to write emails for me. Maybe I use Dolly to generate the art, because I don't have time to go on Photoshop and create a new looking image. Also, I can't just use images from the internet just like that because of copyright issues. So what do? I use a generative AI. So you all must have seen so far on several social media platforms about Ghibli Arts. Ghibli is a studio that produces anime. Their style is very popular. So what they do? They mimic. So they feed the artificial intelligence software with certain images, certain videos about what a true Ghibli art looks like. And then when you give the prompt to the generative AI, it designs and creates certain things based upon your prompt, the prompt you have provided. That is how generative AI works. Decisions. Well, decisions are very important to be taken. You don't want to waste a lot of time on that. So there are certain AIs that can help you make decisions, and based on logics, based on prompts. For example, I can ask ChatGPT or any kind of a decision making software, should I go out today? It's going to check the weather. Is the weather clear? Is it going to rain? Is it safe to go outside? What is the you know particles in the air? How much of a particle is there? Is there a fog outside? So I don't know for sure, because if I go out with an umbrella, it may or may not rain. I'm not sure. So what does that do? That will take the data, the current data, live data, analyze, predict, decide for you. Yes, you should go out. It's going to be a nice sunny day. I'm happy. I go out. And in certain aspects, that is also implemented in technology as well. So when you're using a self-driving car, for example, there's a pattern on the road. There are people, there are buses, there are cars in front of you, behind you, beside you. The decision making AI, what that would do, it would analyze the pattern of how fast is this car going, how far is this car from the car, how what is behind, like how many cars are behind, and accordingly it will take the route, it will take the decision to, okay, it needs to be the speed of the car, this is a safe distance, this is how we roll, right? So I talked about several kinds of artificial intelligence at this point, but we are going to focus something about generative AI. This is where Microsoft's Copilot comes in as well. So LLMs, large language models, these are like an upgraded version. You can call it as an upgraded version of natural language processing, which is natural language processing is how you train your artificial intelligence model to mimic human language. An LLM is like a bigger version of that. So multiple AI models are trained on these kind of data. Maybe you can use the Reddit conversational data. Maybe you could use the Google's NLP. You could use several other models that are available that you can download and train your AI model on these massive data of how human beings interact based on sentiments as well. So the AI would understand and generate human-like language, right? We are also talking about working through prompts. Prompt engineering is very popular these days. What is the importance? Well, you want something out of an AI. You want the AI to write an email. So what do? You provide an input. You write, okay, hey, Copilot, write this email for me where I ask my boss if I could take a leave for 2 days. The AI is going to write a nice and grammatically correct, email body for you, and then you can just copy and paste it in your email provider application. So that is how AI would generate the response. You can, of course, I talked about the Ghibli art and several other generative AI stuff in the previous slide. So you could understand that you can also create new content that would be copyright free. So you don't have to worry about that. It's going to be what you want. Maybe you don't like it in the daytime. You want the picture to happen in the nighttime. Maybe it's fireworks. You can implement that just by writing out what do you want. So the clearer you write, the better you understand, the better you get the result. And that is where Microsoft's Copilot, as I said, is one of the most powerful AI powered productivity tool that you can implement in your day-to-day life. Okay, here are some examples that I have also talked before about generative AI today. So you can quickly draft a professional email using your Copilot. You can create fantastic images using the Copilot services. These can be edited, this can be modified based upon your requirement. You can also, escalate your force. You can accelerate localization of marketing. You can, start out campaigns. You can ask Copilot, okay, I have this product and I want to, market this product. So where do we begin? What do we start with? You can even create banners for your own product. You can use advertisements, digital advertisements. It can draft you the text. It can create you the images. Everything from scratch, and you are getting the most professional looking objects that you could use on your website, on social media, wherever you like. And of course, you can create a customer service agent as well with Microsoft's Copilot agent. And I'm going to show you how to create an agent as well in this. So it's going to be a fun time. The question comes, why AI now? Well, let me tell you something. World is moving fast, and fast that it's hard to catch up with everything. You can't catch up, you can't find a person to do a certain task at the shortest amount of time. Yes, you require the person, but let's say you don't have enough time. What do? You need to learn prompt engineering, you need to learn artificial intelligence to use it effectively in your business. You see, knowledge workers, 68% of them have said that Copilot has helped them, jumpstart the creative process. I'm being one of them. I love Copilot. I generate images that I could put as, in my presentations. Some of these like go to my clients. So I rely on artificial intelligence. Let's say your functional business role. 79% of them have reported that reduction in administrative tasks has been a key part after they have integrated Copilot into their business. And you can see that 75% of data and IT professionals, they have spent less time searching for information because this is quick. You don't want to okay, let's say you're a student, for example. You're going to appear on your exam in a few minutes. You don't have the time to open your books and search for the page where that certain task was there. You don't have time to Google and just maybe search engine, use any search engine for that matter, and you want to search and go through several websites to find out, okay, this was what I was exactly looking for. And sometimes, let me tell you, you search the thing but it may not have the same results twice. So that is where you are stuck. So what do? You use artificial intelligence to quickly analyze, okay, I was looking for this is the exact shortest concise thing that I was looking for, and I found it. It was just maybe a sentence, maybe a word that you were missing out, but now you know. And that is where we professionals, ID professionals, also come in, because sometimes we forget. Okay, sometimes we forget certain stuff, and we don't have the time to go back into the books and find out exactly what we are missing. AI has like been a great help in that matter. During even the meetings that I have, certain certain term comes up from the client side that I may not have heard of, or I may have known but I have not understood it well, or I may not have been able to memorize what it was. It's just out of my memory, just like that. So what do? Move to Copilot, search for that, quickly understand what it is, and within the meeting only, I'm able to understand what the client is actually looking for. Right. And like I said before, the world is moving fast. So AI is evolving rapidly. Okay. And day to day, you're seeing businesses grow, several of the unicorns coming up. India is growing fast, for example. So there are multiple businesses that have been becoming unicorn lately. How? They have been able to adapt to the modern technological requirements. They have been able to adapt themselves to the growing market, the fast paced world, with the help of artificial intelligence, with the help of certain agents that know that a certain task needs to be done. And for that, these agents have been well trained. So this agent could be also determined as an expert system. What is an expert system, by the way? An expert system is a sort of an artificial intelligence that has an expertise on a certain matter. It may not have expertise on everything, but if you are looking for, a model that only expertises in hardware, okay, you want to build a computer for your own work, but you don't know much about the hardware requirements. I don't know if this GPU goes on into this motherboard. Is it going to bottleneck if I use this CPU on the motherboard and use this GPU? How much of a RAM is the best amount if I want to game on this computer? That is where you can use AI agents, uh, expert systems that specialize in one task only. and they are going to help. But when it comes to Copilot's agent, it's important to understand that not just one, you can use an AI agent, you can use a Copilot agent, and without even coding, just by telling Copilot, okay, I want this agent to specialize in the following points. Maybe it has to know about, let's say, it needs to know about certain tasks, for example, computer analysis. Maybe it needs to know about AI on its own. Maybe you're a coder, you want to understand the data, Excel sheets, SQL. You can implement those, and the AI agent is all yours. So these are some of the examples of how artificial intelligence can actually help you with your everyday tasks at work. See, you have meetings and collaborations. Like I mentioned, you can have a recap. You can have a recap of the meeting. You can have an automated agenda preparation for the same. You can have the meeting summaries and notes. You can have a live sentiment analysis for the same. When it comes to content creation, you can transform your existing texts into other forms, maybe a voice, maybe an image, maybe a video, maybe a story. You can create your first drafts with that, add more context to make it more suited for your taste. You can summarize long texts. I don't have to go through Times of India's entire page to understand what the news is exactly, right? And I don't trust the headlines because headlines could be, you know, uh, misleading. So what do? I just use Copilot and summarize the entire thing and read 2 or 3 sentences, and I just know what's going on in the world. Also, when it comes to your personal productivity, by the way, you could be an author, upcoming aspiring author, or you are going for some idea generation about something you want to work on. So you could use there. You could summarize your notes. Maybe you have school and there's exam coming up, and then you have long notes and you want to summarize in shortest possible way, so just that you don't waste time and have some time for yourself too. Like I mentioned about the 2 hours before, you can create a to-do list. Maybe you want to go to the gym but you don't understand how it works, so you could use AI there. That, okay, I'm going to hit the gym, tell me some of the fresh ingredients that I can eat, some of the best food items to have when I'm going to the gym, because I need the energy, I need the persistence to have a good workout. We are talking about solving real life problems with artificial intelligence. Let's see, these are some of the businesses that have implemented AI in some way or the other, and it has benefited them in some way or the other. For example, let's talk about Honeywell, Finastra. They have productivity gains. They have mentioned that the time they have spent on marketing team has been reduced after they have enabled AI into their day-to-day business. Honeywell, they have said that 92 minutes have been saved per weeks per person, and nearly 2 weeks per person annually. So they had the productivity gain. Same goes for Lumen and Dow. They have efficiency and optimization, so they have streamlined their workflow. They have improved upon their accuracy, and they have also reduced the operational cost, as you can see. And also when it comes to innovation and customer value, you can see that Amgen and Teladoc, they have also implemented AI, and they have also benefited from there. And like we are having a case study over here, before versus after implementation of artificial intelligence. So Finastra has claimed that they have slashed the time to market by 75%. So they spent multiple times going to and fro with their marketing team, from the seniors, having certain discussions. And then for marketing, you need the content creators. So the content creators are spending their own time, and this creates a lot of delay in what could have been performed in a few days. So this could range from almost up to 6 months, as you can see, that they had to face before implementing artificial intelligence. However, after they have implemented artificial intelligence, the content creators, their time has reduced. They don't have to spend multiple hours a day to just create one content and then take it up to the supervisors. The supervisors would say, okay, this doesn't look right, this doesn't look right, you need to modify this, change the color of this. That's going to take a lot of time. What they could have done is implemented AI and then just write the prompt that, okay, I like this picture, but I don't want that person to wear a red shirt, I want that person to wear a black. They can just simply type out what they require, and this is going to help them a lot, reduce the time. And that is why they have said that they have reduced, they have bring down the time to market by 75%, and that is a huge achievement. So what are we looking here? We're looking about the opportunities for your own impact. I have discussed this slide before as well. You can have a look and comment down how you are planning to use artificial intelligence as your own AI Kickstarter in any of these aspects. Right. So we are going to talk about some light bulb moments for your AI Kickstarter, right? We are talking about drafting an email with artificial intelligence. So put on a prompt, can you help me draft an email for my leadership team, highlighting my new campaign? Let's watch a video about that.
Picture this. You're about to launch a big campaign and you need the perfect email to grab everyone's attention. What if I told you there's an AI that can help you craft that email in seconds? Hi, my name's Kiana Darling, and I'm a marketing professional here at Microsoft. And my New Year's resolution is to improve my email efficiency with my leadership team. Drafting emails can be very time consuming. So I'm using Microsoft's AI Copilot to assist me in drafting the perfect email for my campaign. Come and check this out. So I'm pulling up my Copilot app and I'm typing in, can you help me draft an email for my leadership team highlighting my new campaign? And in seconds, it populated an email draft for me to use. All you have to do is go to the App Store, select the free Copilot app, accept some permissions, and put your name, choose your sound, and you're great to go. Thanks for watching. Check out.
So you saw how this woman used Copilot, to create and draft emails that she had to share, and it was quick. And when Copilot also knows your name, you don't even have to type out your own signature in the email. It just comes with. Sometimes it's annoying, but when there's tool to help you, I think it's beneficial if you use it the way it is designed to. Another light bulb moment. I want to create a strategy document. So can you provide me with a draft template for an executive strategy document? Let's watch.
I have to draft the strategy document today, and it's going to take all day. Just use Copilot. I'm not sure that'll save me time. Okay, how about you draft your strategy document today without Copilot, and I'm going to use Copilot, and let's see who's done faster. Like a race. Exactly. Let's go. All right. I need to draft a strategy document. Let me start by asking Copilot, please provide me a draft template for an executive strategy document. All done. If you want to save time in your day, download Microsoft Copilot for free.
So did you see it took a couple of minutes for her to finish up her task, whereas the gentleman on the other hand had to go through a lot of time to think, to analyze, to channelize, to funnelize what he was going to do. So like I said, you can really, really bring down your time about thinking about idealizing what you could do. But it doesn't have to be, because you can just certainly type the prompt and then get it done. Okay, here's another light bulb moment. I'm going to have one more for you, and then we can go ahead. So we are talking about brainstorming ideas for any kind of a new initiative, right? So the question is, what are the 5 ways that I can encourage well-being in our employees? Or what about some well-being program ideas as well? Let's see.
Hey, come closer. Did you know that Microsoft Copilot can help you generate ideas for employee well-being? My name is Guilherme, and I'm an HR professional here at Microsoft. Copilot has helped me a lot in develop solutions for employee well-being. Download the free Copilot app and ask, what are the 5 ways that can encourage well-being in our employees? Nice, right? Let's try another prompt. What about wellness program idea? That's perfect. I'm surely going to use it. What about you? Let me know in the comment.
So you saw how fast it was, right? How quick it was, because the Copilot as an AI model has been trained, has been fed the data so that they have done the data work for you so that you don't have to. So simply use the tool and get to know what you want to know. It's that fast. Let's see, developing a checklist for your project. This is our fourth light bulb moment here. So the question is, can you turn this onboard checklist into a comprehensive, onboarding list? Include what I've already listed and produce in a table. So they have already have a listed, you know, parts and some aspects that I have already fed into the AI, and they want turn that aspects, that data, that design into an onboarding checklist, into a comprehensive onboarding checklist. Let's see what happens. Well, that was that simple. They simply took a picture of what they had written down on a piece of paper and then asked Copilot to, well, can you convert this into, so you can use that as well. You can use that feature to create list. Maybe you wrote something on a paper, maybe you're going out for shopping, but you're afraid that you may lose that piece of paper where you have written down all the things that you want to buy. Ask Copilot. Copilot can help you with that. Just click a picture, write down the prompt that, okay, this is what I've provided you, add it to my shopping list. It's going to go and do just that. So here's time that we self-reflect. So we are going to find our own Kickstarter opportunity when it comes to AI. Here are some guiding questions. For example, what are one or two tasks in our daily life that we feel are repetitive, manual, or frustrating? You can always write it down on a piece of paper if you want, or you can use, any kind of a software that you want to write down. But this is important that you write down. Step two is, these tasks that I have listed, if they have, like, if they are manual and I want to automate them, I want them to be streamlined. What would be the biggest impact on my productivity when it comes to, reducing hours or reducing errors? And the step three is, if I get freed up, I after automating these kind of tasks, I am having some time left. How could you use it for higher value work? This is the time that we self-reflect and ask ourselves these kind of questions. And once you have done that, I would be really happy if you would like to share it in the chat. I want to understand what you have identified, how you're planning to automate this, how you want to streamline this, how you want to reduce the errors, and what would you do really if you have some free time after that. So we're talking about prompts over here. We have a mini exercise. We are going to practice basic prompts. Right. So prompt, it's nothing but an art. What do I mean by that? Well, when you want to convey your message to someone, maybe a person, you have to be clear what you want to say. There are certain times when simply hand gestures are enough, but when you want to specify something, when you want to talk about something very complex, you need to be very specific so that the person in front understands it well. Well, that goes the same with artificial intelligence. You can't create a very vague prompt and expect the AI to understand it completely. Though several times they do, but this is not the best practice. So we are going to talk about the best practices today. First, as I said, be specific about what you really want the Copilot to do. Clear goals will lead to a clearer response and thereby get a better result. Add some context. You remember the example I gave beforehand about I want a picture that doesn't take place in the daytime, rather it's in the night. I want flash shots in that, so I can add that as a specific context as well. I can say that, oh wait, it's Diwali, or maybe my favorite cricket team has won the tournament. So make the context very, very clear. You can provide some examples as well in some cases. For example, you can tell Copilot that, okay, so let's say the fireworks take place upon a mountain, and you can say the mountain may look like Mount Rushmore, and it can just create certain pictures that feel similar to what you have said. And let Copilot know how you want your response to be formatted. This sets clear expectations. Like, I don't want long form of, okay, I would have rather read the news headlines from Times of India if I have to do the same when it comes to Copilot. So what do? I say, okay, I don't want to read this completely, summarize this for me, and I want it to be formatted in a very concise, very short manner. Let Copilot do the same for you. So the art of prompt is very simple. You need to set your goal. You need to add some context. You need to put in some sources that you want as an example for Copilot to understand it better. And you have to write out your expectations that I expect this to be the result. And then gone are the vague answers, gone are the vague replies, gone are the vague generations of images. Let's see. This is a video that we're going to understand by seeing and understand the importance of what effective prompts are through these examples.
Let's experiment with different types of prompts to see how AI responds differently based on how we ask. I'm about to ask Copilot to help me generate ideas for our company newsletter. I'll try two different prompts, option A and option B. Think of the differences as I interact with Copilot with these prompts. So here's my first attempt. I'm going to take a request, a basic request here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this, I'm going to paste it into Copilot. So this is my prompt. In this prompt, I say, I need ideas for our company newsletter. Can you suggest some topics? And I'll submit the request within here, and Copilot will generate a response based on my request. And in here it says, absolutely, Bobby. Here are some engaging topics tailored for your newsletter, especially given your focus on productivity and financial analysis. So in here we have top 5 Azure tools for financial data analysis. We have streamlining your workflow tips for automating repetitive tasks in finance and making meetings matter. And if you notice, for each of these, there's a very short sentence below it.
So in this example, how he's showing, you can see that he has given a very vague, prompt for the Copilot to understand and process. So what Copilot is doing is giving him a general overall idea about what he's looking for. And this is very vague. Maybe he doesn't need it. Maybe he needs something more specific.
Let's experiment with different types of prompts.
If we skip ahead, though,
to see how AI responds differently based on how we ask. I'm about to ask Copilot to help me generate ideas for our company newsletter. I'll try two different prompts, option A and option B. Think of the differences as I interact with Copilot with these prompts. So here's my first attempt. I'm going to take a request, a basic request here, and what we're going to do is
So let's put it to the test, okay? We'll make it simple and quick. Let me turn on my Copilot. Right, here we are. So you can see this is the Copilot's interface. We want to do something quick, right? Let me just say, write an essay on, let's say, Indian festivals. So as you can see, Copilot is handing me a list of, festivals celebrated by different kind of cultures that coexist and giving me some of the data that it has. But what if I write, because I don't want to have everything here, right? So I'm just trying to focus on, the most celebrated Indian festivals. So let me just say I want to make it more specific, right? So I'm write an essay on the most specific celebrated festivals, and I also want to make sure that I get the festivals that are being celebrated in the southern states of India, right? So I want to write festivals that are celebrated in the southern states of India. Now comes the specific parts and about the expectations as well. I want the essay to be concise and, you know, let's say I want to have some old English words, so I can write and contain old English vocabulary. And then when I hit the enter, it's gonna write exactly that. So you can read it out. Festivals of the South, a tapestry of merriment and devotion. Most of us don't even use these kind of words in the modern era when it comes to English, but you can clearly see that this is how it has written in Old English. So we can be very specific and get our job done, right? And of course, I promised you that I would show you about agents. So when it comes to agents, you can see this is the agent that I have created named Lucas. What does Lucas do? Well, if you read these things, you can understand. I have designed Lucas to specifically work around, specific tasks. Like it's a computer genius. It has general knowledge when it comes to computer science. It has some technological advancement knowledge as well. So it has some scientific topics that I want to discover. Even you can create that. Just go to create agent. When you go to create agent, there's two ways you can do it. Either you can just keep typing over here, or you can go to this part and configure based upon your requirements and add the tiles that you require on that. Let's see. If I go to edit for Lucas, we can go to the configuration and see. I have added the name Lucas. I have added a short description of what Lucas is, how he speaks like, and I have added that Lucas should answer in short and concise manner only, highlighting the parts that seem to be really important. I've said that Lucas should always address the user as sir and talk like a British gentleman, kind of like a royal butler. And Lucas is a computer genius and knows most answers that are publicly available. Then I can use certain sources as my, knowledge base. So I'm putting Wikipedia, I'm putting the bbc.com/future, I'm using Britannica. You can put several others. There are some starter prompts as well. So technical inquiry, as you can see. So what specific technology question do you have today? You can start with that. This is how simple it is, guys. And that is why it is important to implement these kind of stuff in our day-to-day life. So here's the mini exercise for you. What do you do today is open your Microsoft Copilot, fire up your Kickstarter task. So identify a problem that we have discussed earlier, draft a prompt, consider, implementing key effective details about the prompt, such as specificity and the context and the desired format that we have discussed. Then you can evaluate what the AI is giving you. Is it correct? Is it is the response even relevant to what you are looking for? Is it even useful for your needs? Is there a way you can refine the prompt to improve your response? And let's find out what was your aha moment to improve your prompt for better results. And it's always good to share your success. So I would request you to go to LinkedIn and you can share your biggest takeaways from this experience with the peers. But here comes another important part. We need to plan. We need to plan small, easy actions, step by step, one after another. You will win quickly only by working smarter. So let's see what's up. You know, here's the thing, using AI responsibly is as important as using AI. And there are certain prompts that could be, bias towards a certain race, towards a certain gender, some socioeconomic basis, confirmation biases. So, what is important when you're using AI? If you remember in the beginning, I said that it's possible that AI could give you some answers that could be biased because it is based on the data that has been fed. So, if the bias is because of the data, it's because the data has been processed in that way. So, what do we do here? Here's a quick checklist that once we have our response, we can go through. So, first of all, before getting the result, we are adding the prompt. So I have to be very clear. I have to be very specific to get the better result, as I said. But after I get the result, I can't fully rely, because if human beings can make mistakes, it's also possible that the data the human beings have created could also have mistakes. And if the same data has been fed to an AI, it's possible that the AI could come up with certain results that are not accurate. So what do? We verify, we cross check, we validate if the result that has been provided is accurate or not. It is our responsibility that before we share anything created by artificial intelligence on platforms where people are going to see, it's important that we verify it. For example, today itself, I was going through, x.com, previously known as Twitter, and I was going through some news headlines and some stuff. And I could see that there are certain news headlines, and people were trying to call Grok AI, to ask, hey Grok, can you validate if this news headline is correct or not? And Grok would give its own. So there's a chance that the data that Grok has been fed on could be biased on certain gender, racial, socioeconomical, or even confirmation biases. In that case, the Grok may give results that could be possibly biased. And that is where the third point comes in, that we have to watch for biases. And we have to edit the AI generated content to ensure that we are inclusive, we are clarity, we are sharing clarity, we are being fair to others, and we are aligning with our own goals. We are respecting the privacy of others. We are avoiding to share anything that contains sensitive stuff or personal data with the AI tools. We have to be transparent as well, disclosing AI generated content in professional or public use is, you know, bad if you're not explaining it to them that yes, this certain thing has been generated by AI. You remember the video we saw in the beginning? Some could tell that it's an AI, some couldn't. In that case, it's important to mention that yes, it's transparent of a factor that I have used artificial intelligence to create this video. And as I said, step by step, building your small and easy AI habits. What's one AI habit you will start tomorrow? You have to start with the action planning. So, address these three questions. What's one AI powered task you want to try daily? Maybe you want to summarize emails. Maybe you want to, create content, because there are certain creators on Instagram that have been using AI to generate images every day. How are you going to integrate that to your daily routine? Find out that, and how you want to stay focused, how you want to stay on track with your AI habit. That's a good option as well. So here's a pro tip. Write your AI habits on a sticky note. Set a reminder. Find an accountability buddy that you want to share this with, and go ahead with your AI habits. This is what we have discussed today. And I'm very happy to say that we have successfully touched on each of these points, being very clear, very being interactive, with fun, with videos to understand. So here's the thing. You have to go, scan this QR code and, verify that you're involved in the, attestation page for the GWR. And then you can also share your success, show off your achievements, post your milestones with the AI Skill Fest. Go ahead, register, and find out what you're going to learn next. Thank you so much.